Salem, the pseudo-singularity for 1652 AD. So let's go ahead and get back into this. Ah, there we go. Ooh. Chiuba. There we go. Chiuba is actually, Phew. Thank you for fetching the water, Chiuba. Chiuba. I guess that will be my lunch today. Phew. Please cheer up, Miss Abby. Where are our guests? Inside. Uncle went off to see the Reverend. I'm sure I will be scolded again later. The Reverend. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that was fast. I didn't know all of you guys would hop it right into this thing. Hold on. Hang on a second. I'm opening all my. Oh, actually, you guys are right there. Hello, Pinwolf. Hey, Taco Freak, bro. Dude, bro. What's up, Taco Freak? Oh, wait. No, that's just you. Never mind. That's you too. How's the comms coming along, Mosh? I double-checked everything, Senpai, but I'm afraid it's not working. Well, that's not good. I guess not even Da Vinci's inventions always work perfectly. Nesha, the Lancer who sometimes acts like a berserker. Nesha, try swallowing your oatmeal before you speak. Oh, so she was talking. I thought she was humming. You didn't get to the story yet? That's... Well, it's still going to be available for a while now. Come to think of it, weren't you supposed to be, you know, smarter? Cause stuffing your face when you're a guest in someone's house isn't really a good look, you know. Especially when it's in a village that doesn't exactly seem to be overflowing with wealth. Besides, oats are for horses, not people. I could do a much better job of preparing this dish even with the same ingredients. This village just doesn't have luxury of caring about food. I do feel hunger in this body. It must be an effect of this false incarnation. Yes, I do have a Discord server, actually. My link for my Discord is actually in the description. Of course, I expect we would be regarded with suspicion if we were never seen eating. Try not to be so uptight about it. It'll make things a lot easier if we go around playing up our image as a bunch of weirdos. Alright, Pinwolf. I was actually able to check out the entire village. I also spread word about our trope a bit, so make sure you guys play along. Right. You already finished investigating the area? It's not even afternoon yet. Well, Matahari is an assassin, so she's just doing her job. Way to go, sis. Like you always say, first things first. So, what is the story with this village? Like Abby said, this is definitely Salem in 1692. All the villagers' stories line up. They're Purians who originally hailed from England. Purians. Most of them are farmers, fishers, and hunters, but there's also blacksmiths and cloth dryers, not to mention the riverins. They're all industrious colonials who wake up with the sun and spend their days hard at work. There are a number of warehouses at the wharf, along with boats headed for England and the West Indies. Huh? That doesn't line up with our history. Salem didn't get a major wharf until... Did you say boat, as in sailors? Media? I mean, ahem. That certainly makes sense given that this is a port town. Okay? There is something definitely going on with her still. She is acting very, very suspicious. The first thing you see is not safe for work. Oh, that's the gist of this game. You kind of seem like Lily for a moment there. Wait, is that Lily? Don't you lump me in with that child. You are that child, just more grown up now. I guess there must have been an error in Sheba's observation, but still. I noticed our deviations from our history too. People still live their lives here just like they did in our own late 17th century, but they're not all the same people. There are lots of folks here who weren't on the list of Salem original residents. I haven't yet managed to figure out what it is they have in common though. Well, that's intrigue. Right. I see. Guess that means this isn't the Salem of our past. So we're in an alternate timeline. Like, definitely. For my part, I scooped out the local topography around sunrise. And while the distinctive topography and architecture is still all there, the rest seems kinda off. Off like how? There's a bunch of stuff that doesn't line up with the historical files Chaldea gave us. It was still nice of you to join me, Penwolf. Then, as we suspected, this village is actually a cunningly crafted fake. So, whoever built this place is only using 17th century Salem as a cover and has swamped out both the buildings and the citizens. But his purpose is still a mystery to me. Why do this? Does this mean there's major historical changes on par with the singularity from the Incineration of Humanity taking place? Well, that's the reason why we're here in the first place, so yeah. You're not far off there, cause yeah. What about the people living in modern Salem? That's just it. There can't be more than 16, maybe 1700 people here. And I didn't see any place that could be used to keep the 50,000 people who disappeared. 50,000 people? I wonder where they could have gone. And that's not our only major problem. There's also the witch trials. In our own history, 1692 was the very year when the accusations that started the witch trials began. This is a peaceful village, or at least it looked that way on the surface. But I did also see farmers arguing pretty fiercely about who owned certain lands. And there's your problem. That's how shit starts, actually. They look like they were nursing some major frustrations underneath their poised exterior. I don't blame the girls here for wanting to step out and let their hair down for a bit, like they did last night. Well, that wasn't generally the problem with them actually going out there. The problem was it was just too dangerous for them to be out there like that. I took a peek at their grain stores and it didn't look like they had much to spare. They must have had a string of poor crops. Seems to me like they just barely made it through the winter. This house just happens to be on the more prosperous side. There aren't many homes here that could accommodate guests. For that matter, what if the images we got from Sheba were falsified? I don't think that's an actual thing that can happen, girl. I can't deny that's a possibility, but kinda is a possibility, but I don't think so. My oh my, are you already discussing your next performance? I hope that means you slept well, honored guest. Oh, Tituba, right? That's right, my name is Tituba. I'm Mr. Carter's servant. A servant, her? Not that kind of servant. I apologize for prying, Tituba, but may I ask? You wish to know where I'm from? I was born on the island of Barbados in the Caribbean. A lot of people like me were. I may work for Mr. Carter now, but I used to work for Miss Abby's father. We were told that Abigail's parents passed away. That's right. They were both killed by native people in the forest. Miss Abby was very sad about it for a long time. I feel terrible for her. I don't know what would have become of her if her uncle hadn't come along. She's doing much better these days. It's wonderful to see her smiling and happy again, but now I hear she was nearly killed by wild beasts in the woods. She must have been frightened out of her mind. Killed by the natives? Native Americans? So this is why Jeremy said he would be putting Master in unnecessary danger if he came along. Most people would be pretty wary of outsiders after having their parents killed. But not her. She still seems real trusting. She's a child. Yes, she really is a very kind girl. She even goes out of her way to talk to servants like myself. I hope you don't mind if we ask another question. Last night there was another girl besides Abigail's friends. Who? Oh, would you look at the time? I'm so sorry, but I need to get back to work. I hope you enjoy your stay. Thanks for the food. Master, a word if you don't mind. What do you make of that servant? She seems perfectly fine. That she was suspiciously good looking? You mean preternaturally beautiful? No, I thought she was rather homely. Is something wrong, Media? It's not safe to stay here. This place is being subjected to something more powerful than we realize. Really? I say this place brings back some nice memories. The wind whistling through the gaps in the walls. The sour smell of horse shit. What? Okay. Oh. Wow, hold on a second. I'm about to just do this. Because I definitely need to just capture this single moment where he said the smell of horse shit. No, I'm about to hold on a second. I'm actually about to capture this and put this on my thing. I'm about to. That's absolutely fucking hilarious. I was actually not expecting anybody to just come out and say The sour smell of horseshit is a very nostalgic fucking smell. Okay, here. I gotta turn the volume down. Okay, the volume's down. I'm about to screen capture this. Oh wait. I gotta do it like this. Okay. I screen captured it. That's fucking hilarious. Kingdom Hearts 3 Aftermath memory. Okay. Let me see. I'm about to put this on my Facebook, but now that's that. I'm about to get back. The head-splitting sound of church bells, the bland, pasty food, the boring British small talk. Yes, very nostalgic. I understand where you're coming from there. Actually, now. That was funny. That was just absolutely funny to me because I was not expecting him to say the smell of horse shit. Those hardly sound like pleasant memories. At any rate, don't forget that we have a duty to help those missing 50,000 people. Robin. Alright, sorry. I almost forgot about Frog Legs here hopping along after us. Would you care to say that again? Now, don't start that again, you two. She's so cute. Getting all pouty. Tituba didn't do anything wrong. Why are you doing this? What? I think that came from outside. Oh, so we're actually getting started now, huh? That was Abby's voice. Guess the head of the house is back. Nope, there's something definitely going on here. Step aside, Abigail. Why? I'm the one who deserves to be punished, Uncle, not her. Okay, what are you doing to my girl? And I mean the Tuba and Abigail. Didn't you say that yourself? Miss Abby? The other girls and their parents say otherwise. They say that Team Tuba taught you a heretical ritual and that you all snuck out last night to attempt it. And they got this information. How exactly? Somebody spreading dumbass rumors? I had them promise to keep quiet about it so that rumors don't spread around. Spread around the village. Blah. What in the world were you doing in the forest in the middle of the night, Abigail? None of your goddamn business. Is something wrong, Mr. Carter? Mr. Dante Yeager, I'm afraid my niece was doing something even worse than I believed last night. Unfortunately, I can no longer permit her to attend your production. What now? What? But that's not fair. Come on, we were all kids once, right? This is no mere mischief to simply execute. It is fortunate you were there to ensure no one was hurt. Dude, someone without magical energy cannot perform magic rituals. But Tituba must be punished, and harshly, for filling the children's heads with this nonsense. She will no longer be permitted to be in their company. Punished? No, Uncle, please. She only told me because I begged her to. Please, Uncle, punish me instead. I'll take whatever punishment you see fit, even lashes, so please. It's okay, Miss Abby. I'll be alright. If I may, Mr. Carter, I understand how frustrating it must be to have a young girl under your charge running off at night. You must have been worried sick about Abby to have come so deep into the woods searching for her. That said, I know that wild beasts sometimes go after livestock, but I thought that they usually stay away from people these days. That's true, but it's not just beasts we need to worry about. The nearby forest is very dangerous. Some even say that this land is cursed, that God himself has forsaken our village. Yeah, coming from superstitious people who don't know a damn thing about the outside world because they're just simple idiots. Abigail. Abigail. Abigail! She just ran off. Well, that's what kids do. Mr. Carter. Leave her be. As for you, Tituba, you are no longer to talk about your hometown, no matter how much the other girls beg you. Is that clear? Yes, Mr. Carter. I promise I won't do it again. I'm so sorry about this. Really? Okay, dude. He's going too far. It is not that serious to the point that she can not talk about her own home. What should we do, Senpai? Hang on a second. We need to look for more clues about the demon god. What do you think, Mosh? Yeah, I don't want to just say we need to look for more clues about the demon god. I want to say, what do you think, Mosh? Honestly, I'm worried about Abigail. I understand that the mission comes first, but I see. So, we'll split up into teams and investigate the village further, understood? Our goal is to find someone trustworthy. Alright, Nessa, what do you say we go check out the ocean? Detection ability, full power. She's definitely a berserker. I'll stay in Mr. Carter's house. Master, it'd be dangerous to go around dressed like this anyway. And there's something nagging me about Tuba. I'll keep an eye on Mr. Carter too while I'm at it. Got it. Sounds good. Actually, I would rather her stay with me because wonder what the hell she's planning, because this is not the media that I'm used to. There's something definitely going on here, and I'm still trying to figure that shit out. Maida's been acting really weird lately. So, town hall before dawn. Those must be the traveling performers. What were they thinking coming all the way to perform in a village like this? That to entertain the people who otherwise have boring lives? Duh, you moron. Why would you ask a stupid question like that? What a disgraceful outfit. I could never let my children see that. I'll punch you in the face, you ugly wretch. I hope they put on a play about a romance between aristocrats. That is an odd request from a little girl. Hi there, young man. I hope you'll come out to see the Dante Yeager Company perform. I thought I was used to being stared at, but this is something altogether different. Remember, we're supposed to be entertainers now, so you can't get angry no matter what they say to you, obviously. I know, but I can't help being French. I'm just as out of place here. Besides, you can pass as an educated gentleman as long as you keep quiet. Well, as long as he talks like an educated gentleman. He can also. And in my case, I just come across as a Roma who came to the New World to make my fortune. These villagers may not care for the British armies, but they don't have much love for the French either. Yeah, in fact, this British settlement and French were currently at odds with one another. Only 40 miles north of the French army. The French army led Native Americans against a northern British colony, completely wiping it out. Wow. Naturally, the British retaliated, and the respective colonies ended up fighting a fearsome battle. The competition for resources is fierce between colony wars. It's all but inevitable. Truth be told, my great-grandfather, the first head of our family, was part of the French colonial army himself. He was deployed to Canada, but he must have taken part in skirmishes around this area as well. I see. No wonder you have such complex feelings about this place. Hayes. Retaliation after retaliation. Soldiers sacrificing their lives to avenge the loss of their commanders. Well, that's the way the world is. Is that why you and Robin are always arguing? You really should stop taking shots at him. You're barking up the wrong tree there. He's the one who keeps provoking me. No, dude. You're both responsible for your own nonsense, so knock it off. And you're the least partially to blame for that. As long as you're going to be working together, you'll need to find ways to get along. Matahari acting like they're responsible adults right now, having to tell these idiots. Sometimes other people just have their own way of doing things, and that's okay. I'm trying to be as accommodating as I can. Oh, isn't that? Yes, that's the girl we saw last night. I've been looking for her too. I can't believe a Weltley is out and about in broad daylight. A Waitley? Oh, Waitley. Right, the Waitley, not Weltley. You've got a lot of nerve coming out now when you never show your face at church, grumbling. You're shouting at a child for never coming to church. What the hell is your problem? I'm just going to buy well oil. Well oil? And just what are you going to do with that? Are you going to use it for another blasphemous spell, or... Pardon me, has this girl wronged you somehow? Who are you? Oh, you're one of those traveling performers. That's right, my name is Samson. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Tell me, what possible use would this girl have for oil besides lighting a lantern? What could she possibly have done to warrant such treatment? What business is it of yours? What business of hold on. What business is it of yours to question her why she wants to buy well oil in the first place? So how are you gonna get on him for asking you that, but you're on her for asking her? Oh, you know what? If I was here, I would punch him in the mouth this hard enough to knock all of his teeth out. Ugh, Charles. We just talked about this. What? Are you threatening me? No, that wasn't my intention. I apologize if I offended you. What a strange man. He's gone now. Well, I guess that worked out in the end. So, you do live in this village. The fugitives from last night. Your performers. That's right. I'm sorry for frightening you. She hasn't let her guard down at all. Would you mind if we asked you about what happened last night? Anything you can tell us would be a big help. That really surprised us, seeing something like that happen right after we got here. Did Abby say anything to you? Oh, so you're a friend of Abigail's. That makes this easier. Stop it. Nobody's friends with me. Lavinia. My name is Lavinia Whiteley. Everyone in Salem knows my family and hates them. Did you think the old man was just yelling at me for no reason? He wasn't. The whole village hates what we're doing. I don't blame them. So your family is tying you down. I'm Charles Hughes Sanson. I may be French, but I'm not your enemy. Are you defending me? Why are you being nice to me? Is it because of how I look? I'm an albino, a freak, a living skeleton. Your skin is white, so what? There are, like, people in North America's skins are white as well. You're just pale. You're just really pale, that's all. That just means that you need to be out in the sun more, girl. All your albinoisms means is that you are born without enough melanin, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just a part of who you are. I don't find it ugly at all. However, it would behoove you to eat better, if you don't mind me saying so. You're an idiot. If you want your show to succeed here, you should stay away from me. We would never charge admission to children. Isn't that right, Matahari? Of course not. We hope to see you at our show, Lavinia. If you like, we'd even be happy to provide a seat where you can watch in privacy without worrying about the rest of the audience. Then, I just have one request. What's that? Don't tell Abby I was there last night. If you do, I'll tell everyone else what I saw. I'll tell them you used magecraft to kill those beasts. I saw the whole thing. Why is she so certain about that? So, you wish us to keep your presence a secret from Abigail, do you? I can see that this is very important to you. Yeah. So, what will you do? Alright, we promise we won't tell her. Don't talk to me again, okay? I'm afraid we can't promise that. Guess we got a problem on our hands. Could an ordinary child be so unbothered after seeing a fight like that? The Whately family, I think we had better look into them as well. That's all well and good, but You think of, I mean, you kind of look to me like you cared more about her than her possible connection to the demon god pillar. Are you sure we can trust her? I am, yes. Really now? Well, never mind that for the time being. Let's go report this to Master. I wonder how Robin and the others are doing. Robin, suggestion, listen. What is it, Prince Nesha? If you got something to tell me, make it quick. Cause there's a sweet little tavern over there with my name on it. I think he's drunk. Oh, on duty. Drink not, want not. I mean, Robin, listen, have a suggestion. Yeah, what is it already? This area, strange, unrealistic, therefore nonsense, and sneaking. We capture villagers, question them individually, rational, efficient. We can handle anyone who resists, certain, uncertain, unnecessary. Aha, I see. No wonder you were cast in a period piece. Naturally. So, you're kinda captain under the whole slow methodical investigation thing, yeah? I don't blame you. If we wanted to run in and start throwing our weight around to find out what we're looking for quickly, we could do that. We're servants and they're just ordinary people. They'd be way easier to handle than monsters. That said, I won't pretend like I've got everything all figured out, but even though we can feel the runaway demon god pillars aura all around us, we're still trying to figure out what's really going on here. You still haven't been at Claudia all that long. You weren't with us traveling back in time during the restoration of humanity. Back then we had to be real careful not to interfere too much, or we could have ended up changing history. There's little chance of that happening here, but we still had to be careful. Careful not to bring along anything that didn't exist in this time so we could get in here to begin with. And we're dealing with this false incarnation nonsense weakening us. If we just stormed in and made enemies of the whole town, we might have wound up dead. They could have brought a whole military against us or something. We always had the option of brute force here when necessary in other singularities, but here I think that might actually be the worst thing we could do. And he's not wrong, because we still don't understand why our powers are so weak. Hey, I'm pretty sure Master's picked up on this too, you know. If you were to ask him, he'd tell you that violence isn't the answer here in Salem. It's kinda like we're trying to make our way through dense fog with someone else holding on to our lifeline. Don't know about you, but I'm sure don't want to accidentally break one of the world's rules we don't yet know about and get knocked right off the stage. Right. As long as we don't know who we're up against, it's best to act like each step could be our last. Besides, we're not here trying to keep these people safe, remember? This is a peaceful village of innocent people. We have no call to go around hurting them, right? pondering, reconsidering. Understood. We'll play along. Really awesome. Good to see you can listen. Unlike a certain frog I could mention. You're really trying to start a fight here. Right then, let's go try some of that Caribbean import rum. No drinking hinders investigation out of the question. And come on, you're kidding, right? Don't get all straight-laced on me now, Your Highness. So, the sea is right past those wheat fields. This whole area must be grassland. Hang on a second. I read that land likes this. Wait, I read that land like this that's shared and managed by the whole village is called a common here. Here. This should be the site Abby ran off to. I wonder where she could be now. By the way, Senpai. Did you think there was something a little strange about Media? I thought I was just imagining things before we race shift, but now... You know, she was acting strange. So, you thought so too then? Yep. I wonder what the deal is. She just doesn't seem like herself somehow. At first I thought she might just be upset about how we asked her to come to a place that's best known for its witch trials. Oh. She just doesn't seem like herself somehow. Oh wait, whoops, I was reading the wrong thing, sorry. But then she was eager to help me set up the comms device last night. I'm just not sure what to think anymore. There's definitely something going on. I'll see what I can find out. Okay, thank you, Senpai. Of course, I hope I'm wrong about this. We made it through the bounded field and into Salem. No matter how peaceful the scenery may be, this is still enemy territory. Oh, it's immensely possible we played into their hands without realizing it. Look, there's a golden rabbit hopping around there. A gold rabbit? Huh? Where did that come from? A gold rabbit? Where is it? Wait, that's not a gold rabbit. That's golden hair. It's Abby. Ugh. Don't tease me like that, senpai. Well, Abby is cute like a rabbit. Oh, hello, Mr. Ringmaster. Hello, Mosh. Did you come all this way looking for me? I'm sorry for running off like that. I promise I'll go home soon. I would just like to stay out here a little longer. Abby. I'm sorry I made someone as wonderful and nice as you worry, Mosh. I know it was my fault. And I know that Uncle is just being sensible. Actually, he's not. He's completely right. I was thoughtless and I put all of my friends in danger. I want to console the child. I even ended up getting Tituba in awful trouble. But when she didn't do anything wrong, and after she told me such wonderful tales of her homeland too. Oh, fuck me. Alright. After all, I shouldn't just be allowed to watch your show like I did nothing wrong. Actually, you should, because you didn't do something too wrong. So yeah, you should be able to watch the show. I don't know what to say to her. Is there any way we can cheer her up, senpai? Why don't we take a little walk? A walk? Okay, I love going on walks. There's a path to the beach down the hill there. The wind's not too cold today, so I bet it's perfect weather for a walk. It's really nice out, right? Yes, it's lovely. Oh, I almost forgot. Uncle said I'm not supposed to talk to the guests. What about talking to friends? Oh yes, that's a wonderful idea. You're fun, Mr. Ringmaster. Well, I try to be, child. What are some of your favorite things, Abby? My favorite things? I'm so glad you asked, Mr. Ringmaster. I have so many it's hard to keep track. Let's see. One of them is definitely pancakes. I didn't even know they had pancakes back then. That's interesting. I adore fluffy pancakes with lots of butter and crispy bacon on top. Oh, and more than anything, I love mashed potatoes and covered with piping hot gravy. Yeah, I knew mashed potatoes and gravy existed, but there's nothing better than that. That does sound incredibly delicious. And gravy, huh? I've heard of it before, but I've never actually had it. What's it like? Oh, right. That reminds me. Masha is kind of, well, she's been Chaldea arrested, or she just can't go out of Chaldea. She's never been out in the human world before. Oh, goodness, Mosh, you've never had gravy before. Do they not make it in Europe? No, the poor child just didn't have a childhood. It's a scrumptious sauce made using the juices from cooked meat. The grown-ups all like to put it on turkey and steak, but I really love it on potatoes. And that's how curry was born. because it's gravy potato mash. It's not the kind of thing you have every day either. You only get to enjoy it on Thanksgiving. I wouldn't say that. I guess that was true back then, though. It's too bad you and the rest of the Dante Yeager company didn't come during a holiday, Mr. Ringmaster. It has been a while since we celebrated anything, though. Well, actually, we did come around a holiday time, but that's in our year. I think the year, not the year. I think the season's a bit different. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Still, the meal that Titiama made for us was very good on its own, right? I'd never had porridge before either, so it was quite novel. Haha, it's okay, Mosh. I understand. You don't have to be so polite. Tituba does the best she can with what little we have. But I know that porridge isn't something seasoned travelers like you would really love. That's definitely not true. I'm sorry. I guess you saw right through me. Tituba cares a lot about being frugal, though. I'm not sure why. Maybe it has to do with her own beliefs. Well, actually, being frugal is so that, money isn't sparse. That's definitely the reason to be frugal in most situations. So, when she makes porridge, she'll water down the milk and skim a lot on the honey. Ah. That's actually smart in some instances. I'm not sure if Uncle just doesn't mind or if he likes how she saves him money, but he never says a word about it. I don't think you should ever tell a child about this either. There are so many things Salem is missing. Do you like this village, Abby? Oh, you want to know how I feel about Salem? Nobody ever asked me that before. I'm not quite sure how to answer. Do you like the... Well, that's actually can't. Were you born here, Abby? That's a good question. Was she? Yes, I was. There was a comet in the sky the year I was born, so... it was so big you could even see it during the day. I don't remember seeing it myself, but I'm sure it must have been a wonderful sight. Anyways, I'm sure Salem pales in comparison to some place like Boston. But even this town has a lot going for it. Not from what Robin told me just now. Uncle told me that its name comes from the word Jerusalem. That's actually true. You know all about Jerusalem, right? Every good Christian does. It's the holy city that was once ruled by both King David and King Solomon. Yeah, and Solomon owes me some money. Okay. The night of the Crusades headed east to find it, but our pilgrims' fathers set sail for the west instead. When they arrived at the New World, they founded the town of Plymouth, Boston, and Salem. It must have been really hard when they first arrived, but now ships come here from around the world. And you saw how big our rape fields are, right? Can you believe this all used to be woodland once? God was kind enough to let us put down roots and settle here. We're truly blessed. You're very proud about being part of a pioneer village, aren't you? Of course I am. It's where I was born and raised after all. Isn't everyone proud of where they grew up? Yes, that's right. I think I can understand how you feel, if only a little. This is how history was made after all. But at this time, New England was was still a British colony and hadn't yet declared its independence as America. America? Who's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Just forget I said anything. That's right. The people of Salem are still technically British, even if they did become colonials to seek their independence. I have to remember they're not servants and don't have any modern day knowledge. Have you ever been anywhere besides Salem, Abby? Well, no, not yet. I haven't left Salem in my whole life. Really? Not even once? No, not even once. Everything I know about Boston I heard from others. I'm sorry for misleading you. I just love hearing about other towns and other countries. Say, Mr. Ringmaster, you and your company have performed all over Europe and the colonies, right? What sort of show did you put on in Boston? Did you stop by Jamestown too? Is it true that New York has stores where you can buy tea and porcelain from the Orient? Oh, I really wish I could see your show, but since I don't, could you at least tell me? Wait, what? Let me read that again. But since I can't, could you at least tell me about the different countries you've been to? What, would that be alright, Senpai? Sure. We can't tell you everything, though. Really, that's wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Ringmaster. That's great. I love hearing about foreign countries, too. How did you feel about your uncle? How do you feel about your uncle? Uncle Carter is very responsible, very quiet and strict. Everyone in the village is pretty pious, but I think they are also very stubborn. And they don't like to admit when they've made a mistake. That's humans in a nutshell. But when Uncle starts talking to them in his calm voice, they always seem to accept what he says. I see. So the other villagers really trust him, don't they? Yes, they do. He teaches at Harvard Divinity School in Boston, after all. I think University School. He studies an ordinate there. I don't really know quite what he researches. And I was saying that not because I think that's a typo. I think that's because Abby said it like that because she doesn't know the actual word. So she says divinity instead of university, which would actually make sense considering how old she is. But he always has fascinating things to share about foreign countries. He's told me some unusually bleh. He's told me some really unusual stories about faraway lands like the Qing Dynasty, I think, and the Mughal Empire, and a place called Zepang. And they're all so fascinating. I see. It sounds like your uncle is where your love for foreign countries came from, then. I guess he must be. Well, I do love hearing stories like that, but my very favorite thing is when I tell them to my friends and let my imagination run wild. I especially enjoy telling them to Lavinia. She's always so interested to hear them. Lavinia, is that a friend of yours? Ah, that's right. Mosh and Master haven't talked to Lavinia. The person who talked to Lavinia was Sanson and Matahari. That makes sense. Yes, she's the same age as me, so she was also born in the year of the comet. She's the best. I always loved talking with her. You know they should have just made Lavinia the 4-star foreigner servant, right? Let me see. If Abigail is Cthulhu's gate, or at least being powered by Cthulhu, then Abigail could have been. Lavinia could have been Hester. Like they could have made something saying that Lavinia was Hester. None of the other girls have much interest in foreign countries, so they only ever ask boring questions. But Lavinia loves to read, so she knows all sorts of things. Sometimes I even think she knows more than Uncle. Your uncle seems a little bit closed-minded, so she may know a bit more than him. Or she may just know the stuff that he doesn't know, and vice versa. Okay, I actually need to look up foreigner real quick. Foreigner servants. Yeah, because I truly think they could have just made Lavinia the second foreigner servant for this thing, and we could have just been something for Lavinia and then have her summon for Mosh and stuff. But because there's only 3, count them, 3 foreigner servants so far. That's Abigail Williams, Hokusai, and Mysterious Heroine XX, who is the summer servant for next year, I believe. Sometimes we even come here to watch the sea together. But did you and Lavinia have a fight or something? Yes, this time you saw, right? It threw me, Mr. Ringmaster. I must have upset her somehow because lately she just won't talk to me. I asked her about it, but she kept refusing to answer, so after a while I got upset too. But she's still my best, most cherished friend. Being apart has helped me realize that. I noticed there were a number of friends of yours at the secret gathering last night, though. Does that mean Lavinia wasn't among them? I secretly sent her an invitation, but she never showed up, just like I knew she wouldn't. I wonder, could that be the girl who ran off into the forest? I talked to Tuba about this, and she gave me some advice. She told me to be honest with myself and think about whether I'd done something to hurt her without knowing or meaning to. She recommended I ask myself 3 questions. So what were they? First, have I pretended to be someone I'm not? Second, have I jumped to any conclusions about her? I don't think that's actually happened. And third, have I been neglecting to pay attention to tomorrow because I'm still nursing a grudge from yesterday? The tuba said that, I see. Sounds weird. That's okay. After that, I realized there were a lot of things Lavinia... Wait. There are a lot of things Lavinia could be angry at me for, and now I don't know what to apologize for first. May I say something? Does Lavinia have white hair and very pale skin? Yes, that's right. Have you already met her, Mosh? Yes, I actually saw her in the forest last night. I guess I hadn't told you yet. Really? Do you mean it? Then she showed up after all. I'm so glad. I'm just sorry I didn't notice she was there. Now I have something else to apologize to her about. That's great news. So that was Lavinia, huh? Wow, so you saw her too, Ringmaster. The way they talk about her though is like she's a freaking ghost. Some people tease her about the way she looks. Some go even further and say she looks downright sickening. It's because she doesn't get enough sun. Leave the child alone. People are just a-holes, I swear. That's just how it is. But I think she's beautiful. She looks just like a star fairy, don't you think? Huh. Okay. If you ever make fun of her, I'll never forgive you. That's cute. Well, I wasn't going to make fun of her in the first place, so you have nothing to worry about, child. Don't worry, neither Senpai nor any of us would ever do that. Hey, look, I can see a sailboat on the other side of the pasture. It sounds kind of heated over there. I could hear people shouting angrily. Did a new ship just dock? The sailors can be kind of rough. The warp is just past this green but eek! Senpai, that was a gunshot. It came from the direction of the rough. I hope it's not a mutiny. It's the Indians. The Indians are attacking. What? Huh? From the sea? I'll go hide and take a closer look. Didn't one of ours head for the rough? Yes, I believe Robin and Nesha did. Yeah, we need to hurry the hell up. Abby, are you alright? Let's get you back to the village before... Abby? Outside? Can't go outside Salem. Nothing but pain and suffering. Everyone who comes from outside is... I see where this is going. Oh. Damn Oriental! Who do they think they are, pointing their blades at me? Ye ain't leaving here alive now until ye get down on the floor and beg for mercy. A blade? Preposterous, third-rate seaman. The true blade of my fire-tipped spear is red-hot flames. Your flimsy arms, will they continue to blunder, the next strike will be no mere scratch. The hell? This wrenches off her rocker, and where the hell did she get that thing from anyway? That was amazing. Did you just deflect our shots? Was that magic? Are you acrobats or something? You're not acrobats. I am martial artist. Yeah. Sorry about this, Gintz. Would you mind putting away those scary looking muskets and knives now? We were just trying to relax here. Relax before our big show. I hope you can understand. Oi, you're the ones who started it. And I absolutely understand you're upset, but can we just keep it cool since this is a tavern and all? What's the big idea, Nesha? What are you trying to pull here? You would have me remain silent in face of such shame? What's going on here? Are you two fight it? Wait, got it. Wipe the floor with them. Absolutely. Once I am done, not even a speck shall remain. Ringmaster. Are you nuts? You just got here. Why would that be the first thing out of your mouth? These seamen, the root of evil, therefore I shall cut them down where they stand. Oh yeah? You're still on about that wench? If you're trying to draw in customers, you're doing a terrible job. And what are you supposed to be anyway? Another Oriental or something? That's right, I'm talking to ye. So, you're the ringmaster, eh? What kind of company are you running, letting your freaks run wild like this? So, what exactly happened here anyway? Please listen, master. To begin, once we entered this tavern, Matcha there sat at a gambling table, began drinking. Hey now. So, whatever became of the mission, he lost the dice more and more, even demanding I bet our travel expenses. Whoa, keep that to yourself. Nothing better to do, so I followed his example, joined him gambling table. Had no idea what I was doing. Beer was so bad it was undrinkable. Then, my lowest moment, third-rate seaman gestured towards me, called me a prostitute, and began touching me near my waist. That I did not mind. He did treat me to some milk. You didn't mind. Next, he made me sit on his lap, told me to pour him another glass. That sort of frivolity I also don't mind. Wait, frivolity? Okay, frivolity I also do not mind. You didn't mind. Are you sure you didn't mind even a little? I do not mind, however. This seaman remained in high spirits, yet as he kept drinking, bursted into tears. He began to complain how sad my body is. Can you believe? This body given to me by Tayi Zarian himself. How dare this man appraise this body as sad? How dare he? That's what bothers you about this? That's about when I couldn't take it anymore and tried to go smooth things over. According to that sailor, Nesha is so light that he figured she wasn't eating well enough. And that got him thinking about the kid he left behind in his home country. Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with that? So why the hell this wench of years ago and pull a weapon on me? Haha, don't worry about it too much, young ringmaster. This guy is just a big old lecturer. He was just trying to get your wrench to feel sorry for him, and so he could take her to bed. He does it all the time. Sure ain't much fun to be had in a Puritan port town like this after all. Yeah, neither we sailors nor ye performers belong here, so we might as well get along, ha ha ha. True, Nessa was out of line, I apologize. True, Robin was out of line, he'll apologize. Me? What did I do? Not keep a close enough eye on her? Yeah, alright. I had a feeling it might go this way. What's going on? What was all the commotion about? I rushed here as fast as I could, but all I can see now is people drinking happily. Come on, what happened here anyway? I see, I suppose I understand. I'm just glad matters were resolved before they got out of hand. Haha, performers, eh? If the storm out in the bay keeps us stuck here, maybe we'll go see your show for ourselves. A storm? Has there been a stench of poor weather out in the bay? Is that why you're all hanging out in this tavern? You got it, Specs. Gotta say though, I'm surprised you even thought to come perform here in Salem at all. That sort of show be you're putting on. Oh well, we were thinking of... Hold it, all of you. want to hear what you have to say too. Hey, they say you're going around telling everyone you're traveling performers, but I don't buy it. Ringmaster, this guy's been sitting in the corner a while now. He's one of the villagers, not a sailor. I run a general store here in Salem. I've been to Boston a number of times, but I've never seen any entertainers like you before. I know there's a lot of strange folks in the theater, but no one would ever come to Salem looking to get rich. Unless you're secretly up to some dirty, shameful business like the sailor said. Who said anything about getting rich here? For that matter, you're awfully young to be a troupe leader. How many shows have you performed anyway? This will be our first. What was that? Well, it's not what it sounds like. She means this will be our first time performing with our current members, naturally. Another problem on our hands, huh? Ringmaster, please let me handle this. I have some notes from Chaldea for situations like this, just like this. Sir, I can see you care deeply about this town, and I understand your concerns. But I assure you that despite our appearances, we at Dante Yeager Company are good, God-fearing people. We may not be Puritans or Quakers, but we always perform with gratitude for all of God's blessings. We pray every day, and as long as there's a church nearby, we make it a point to attend Mass as well. On our way here, we heard about a village in New England that no other performers will go near. A village where good people live pious lives. Pious. A place that truly lives up to its name, the city upon a hill. As fellow Christians, we hope to learn from the people of Salem's example. And if we can bring them some joy in return through the only trade we know, we can ask for nothing more. A city up on a hill, huh? I can see that you mean well. And given what happened in the little tussle earlier, I can also see that you want to blend into our town without causing trouble. Actually, I just cause trouble, even if you are a bit on the unusual side. That said, I don't want you leading us into temptation. People say that we Puritans hate plays, novels and dancing, but that's giving us too much credit. It's not wrong, but it's not quite right either. We do our best to minimize those distractions in our lives precisely because we are drawn to them. Every child knows that plays are fun and exciting, and this tavern certainly sees its share of people coming in looking to relax and enjoy themselves. The people of this village purposefully go around turning blind eyes to each other's feelings as long as they only involve a glass of hard cider. We are all of us frail vessels. We are all of us frail vessels, and so we do not invite further temptation into our lives. That is my concern about your trope. Hard cinder is pretty great stuff. I understand that as performers we may not be welcome. But does that mean we're not allowed to be here at all? That is not my decision to make. But if you're willing to demonstrate what sort of play you mean to put on, that might go a long way toward changing the people of Salem's mind. If you insist on performing, I'd be willing to speak to the Reverend and other respected villagers on your behalf. Why not try putting on a little show just for them and get approved from the village that way? I see, Senpai. I think this could be a good opportunity. Definitely. If you refuse to do so and mean to ply your trade without regards to the village's sense of piety, then I would prefer that you leave. The barkeep tells me you're guest of Professor Carter. All the more so in that case. If you don't want to be hauled out before the judge. Before the judge, you should go somewhere that's more welcoming to outsiders like like Rhode Island or Pennsylvania. This is Massachusetts. Wait, Massachusetts. Ours may be a small village, but the eyes of God and His justice are upon us all. I don't want to see anyone hanged here. Hanged? About 4 years ago, I think, I saw a criminal hanged in Boston's town square. There was talk of witches and foul play. Perhaps you heard about it yourselves. Oh ho, witches, you say. Now that's something we'd like to hear all about. Finally, something relevant to the mission. If I may, Senpai, I think we should do as this man suggests. It's a good opportunity and would make our investigation considerably easier. I guess this is a kind of test then. Sounds good. Sounds good, though I am worried about the others. I can see you have concerns. I believe there was a play in the book Anderson gave us that should be perfect. If it's alright with you, Senpai, shall we go with that one? Okay, let's do it. Hey, understood. Then I'll speak to this man and request his assistance. Now, we should head back to our room and get ready to perform. Oh, and if you're wondering about Abby, I escorted her back to the town center. She was a little shaken up by the gunshots, but she regained her composure soon enough. At least I think she did. This has a lot of talking. I'm gonna look up Nesha real quick. There she is. Oh, finally, enemies. Whoa. Now we can actually have some fun. Okay, let's see. This is Berserker and freaking Assassin, so the best thing I have here would be casters. So yep, let's go with casters. And let's see. Oh, there she is. How long has it been since I last saw a play? What a waste of time. Ugh, what a waste of perfectly good lamp oil. What nonsense is this? We worked so hard to build our town hall and to fill it with such frivolity. I don't even see the reverend here. Where is he? I'm told he had to attend someone who fell ill and can't make it tonight, but this should be enough. Alright, Ringmaster Dante, we're all here. Go ahead and start the show. Got it. Let me just check. Wait. Yeah, let me just check the actors. Okay, everyone, remember, just like we planned, you should already be familiar with the play from looking it over at Claudia. We may not have been able to bring the actual script, but You should all have your lines from the notes I gave you. Matahari, you'll play the Queen of Sheba. A strikingly flamboyant role, Sounds right up my alley. Robin, you'll play King Solomon. Yeah. And of course, Senpai, I'm sorry, Ringmaster will lead everyone through the protection. You'll have multiple roles, so you're going to be busy. You've been a big help, Mosh. Thank you, Ringmaster. It's been a fun change of pace from my usual work. Of course, now we have to actually perform. I'll be helping out from the side of the stage as the narrator and prompter. I did have important things to do back at the house, you know. This is part of our mission, Media. That's right, we need to let these people get to know all of us a bit carefully. That said, I'm only a bit player this time around. Don't screw this up, Robin. I don't know why they picked me. I said I was fine being a tree. And why do I keep feeling that like someone's staring at me? The gaze of our audience. Act now or not at all, show off. Dear lady, if you don't quit staring at me. Midsummer Memories actually looks nice. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule for our guests, Your Honor. I am not here as a drama critic. I will not judge the quality of the performance. Oh wow, Nesha looks actually good here. It would hardly be fair of me to go around espousing a Puritan's values after all. Espousing. I will merely be determining whether this production is suited for the good Christian people of Salem. Oh, get over it. Oh, give it a freaking rest. Yeah. A perfectly sensible choice. No, not really. Can you tell me what the company will be performing today, Miss Mosh? Of course, Mr. Carter. Tonight, we'll be performing a story from Scripture. Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Well, that sounds lovely. I can't wait. I'm afraid we don't have very vivid curtains, but please go ahead and get started. That was actually a smart thing to choose from, actually. Ahem. Oh, this is a new sprite of Mosh. She looks gorgeous, actually. Good evening, distinguished guests, and thank you for accepting our invitation. On behalf of the Dante Yeager Company, I would like to say that we cannot express our gratitude to you for taking your time to be here this evening. Tonight, we will be performing a story about the most enigmatic queen in the Bible. She was the queen of a prosperous southern nation, somewhere north of Arabia, or perhaps to the east of Africa. This queen was drawn to King Solomon, known far and wide for his peerless wisdom, and decided to journey across the desert to meet him. Tell me, do you know what a true desert is like? An endless sea of sand that stretches out past the horizon, a land of death where not even a single drop of water can be found. To cross it, the queen ordered hundreds of camels accompanied by thousands of soldiers and attendants to form a single file procession. Each camel was laden with incredible treasures, gold, jewels, and precious frankincense. Our story begins with the queen perched on a camel surveying her procession. How depressing. I don't mind traveling by camel. But what will I do if I travel all the way to Jerusalem and still cannot meet the King Solomon? Why does this weigh on you so, your majesty? You have thought of nothing else for these entire 2 months of travel. We are 2 days away from the Red Sea harbor, and Jerusalem is still farther. Besides, see for yourself what mountains of treasure you bring. 120 talents of gold, more than even 20 camels can carry. Sapphires, ambers, opals, those garments, and other precious jewels, the finest frankincense our nation has. Never before has such a vast array of treasure been brought on such a journey across the desert. More even than that, your majesty's beauty is revered far and wide. King or not, there is no man alive who would refuse you. That he didn't, actually. Is that so? I'm not so sure about that. These treasures are merely the tokens of my good intentions to show the people that I am trustworthy. The true cargo I bear lies within my heart. For this man was born to be king and has been blessed by God himself. I am afraid I do not understand. This man may be a great king, but he is still just a man. If you flatter him, he will grow conceited. If you appeal to his greed, riches will blind him. If he is truly born to be a king, is that not all the more reason for him to rest on the laurels of his lineage? It is true that Israel is much more peaceful and far easier to trade with now than it was under its previous king. But I still have my doubts about his wisdom. Keep such thoughts to yourself now that the harbor is in sight. One never knows where the ears of the king might be lurking. As you wish. What's this? Caravan leader. Something is amiss at the head of the procession. It appears to be an ambush by bandits. They never learn, do they? We shall be nearing an oasis. Thieves often congregate in such areas, so I expect some issue as we draw near. More poor fools cannot resist the temptation our caravan offers in the possibility of its riches. If you expected as much, then I trust you have also prepared for such attacks. Is there anything I can do to help drive them off? Surely you jest, your majesty. Rest assured that all is taken care of. We have plenty of capable fighters at our command. These fights do not work merely for money. They are warriors of honor, faithful to the queen and country. Oh, that's nice to have. I will send them out alongside our own soldiers post haste. But aren't we pompous all of a sudden? Very well then, I leave you and your fighters to your task. So this is where the actual fight comes in. Okay. Soulless man. This is so weird. It's like they teleported to a different singularity.
Hi.
いいとも。お望みのままに。
潰れ
ふん。もう。
ステータスアップ。これで耐えます。落ち着いて。はい、落ち着いて。
Here we go.
これで倒します。了解。押し切ります。
ん？
行きます。
どうかな？
潰れて。触らないでください。
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか？
Oh wait, did she stun herself?
いいとも。お望みのままに。
Crap,
い
she
いとも。
stunned herself. I did not know that was a thing.
どうかな？柄ではないんだけどね。お任せ。夢のように片付けよ
あなたも私をいじめるんですね。あなたも私をいじめるんですね。神明、もう会長、耐えきれない。私は最悪の席に立つ。それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ、ロード・キャメロット。私まだわからないけど、この気持ちにちゃんと向き合うって決めたから。ブルーヒルでロマンシア。戦闘終了。お役に立てましたか？
Huh. Okay. Now, a lot. That was way more powerful than I thought. Oh, so we're still doing it, huh? Thanks to their capable Thanks to their capable bodyguards, the Queen's procession easily fended off their attackers. Oh, this is an interesting picture I want. Oh, hang on a second. Actually, I'll be able to get the picture anyway. Never mind. Soon after resuming their journey to Jerusalem, the procession arrived at the Red Sea harbor. The harbor was packed with throngs of camels, and there was a lively din, some sounding left and right from merchants awaiting ships and cargo. The Queen's caravan rented hundreds of ships that set sail for the north of the Red Sea. In time, the massive fleet arrived upon the northern edge of the Gulf of Aqaba as a seaport called Ezion-Geber, built by King Solomon himself. The people of Israel were surely taken aback by the appearance of this mysterious queen and the untold wealth she brought with her. This magnificent scene of the queen meeting King Solomon has been depicted in countless number of painted masterpieces. The queen's procession headed northward overland, their eyes taking in the pastures of the foreign country that surrounded them. Then at last they arrived to a point where they could just barely make out Jerusalem glittering in white ramparts. And yet something seemed amiss. This is ridiculous. I can't take it anymore. You seem upset, my retainer. Yes, Your Majesty, I am. We've been stuck in this village within the ravine for an entire week. If we don't get moving soon, the soldiers and camel tamers will start to get homesick. What say the messengers we sent ahead to Jerusalem? I've seen them countless times, Your Majesty. I even went to try and negotiate our entry myself. It's just the guards keep inventing reasons to turn us away at the gate. They're hopeless. Even showing them a list of all the gifts we bring for King Solomon has done little more than warrant a smirk. I see. Then perhaps it's time I met with them myself. Tell the caravan to loosen their loads and make themselves at ease. Your Majesty? Your Majesty, please, you mustn't go off on your own. There is a flock of sheep coming this way. I have the guards chase them off. I'll have the guards chase them off. Why? Okay. No need for that. This is not our kingdom, so we shall be the ones to make way. These sheep are nice and plump, and their wool is soft and well kept. This is indeed a rich land. Well now, it isn't every day one comes across such an esteemed noble. Good day to you. Stay back, who are you? As you can see, I am merely a passing shepherd. That's King David. A harmless, friendly young man who enjoys nothing more than singing and dancing. Are shepherds so rare where you come from? No, they are not. I do beg your pardon. You must be the travelers that have been staying here in this ravine. This place is ill-suited to making camp. Have you run into some manner of trouble on your journey? You are quite perceptive, young shepherd, As luck would have it... I see. That is certainly odd. Jerusalem is supposed to be a city of compassion, a place that will open its gates to anyone. How terribly embarrassing that it has been fit to reject guests who have traveled from so far away. Can you tell us what Jerusalem is like, young shepherd? What do you think of the great king's city? Well now, I can hardly refuse to answer a question from such a beautiful lady, can I? Your Majesty, surely there are far better ways to pass the time than in the company of this ill-mannered youth. How's he ill-mannered? What's wrong with it? I'm having a perfectly lovely time. Aha. Unfortunately, I haven't been to the city myself in quite a while, but I do hear rumors from time to time. Jerusalem is a city like no other. It is truly the center of the world. Its ramparts stand tall against any threats, and its palace is the height of luxury. I believe its most beautiful feature is the temple its previous king wished to build really badly. They say it's a truly impressive sight. I implore you to pay it a visit yourself after you arrive, my lady. I think I shall do just that. What about the people who lived here? Have they no complaints at all? Good question. I suppose I must simply say that it seems the king is doing a superb job. Each and every one of his people speaks of him with reverence, with language as lyrical as poetry. They say that he is a fair and just judge, possessed of true wisdom, that he was born to be the perfect king. True wisdom. But ripe fruits inevitably draw pests. The fruit itself may not be the blame, but alas, there is nothing one can do about the laws of nature. Thus, do security and abundance inevitably lead to avarice and arrogance. I know it. I knew it. Your Majesty? Hey, wait. Does this mean the gatekeepers expect us to bribe them? Even after our messengers have long since paid their toll? Well, I'm afraid there isn't much a lowly shepherd like me can do about it. The best I can do is join you in conversation here in the shade for a fleeting moment. Oh, unless you would also like me to pay my harp. Oh, that will do. Thank you, my good shepherd. By the way, I noticed a number of your sheep have injured legs. Could I buy them off of you so that I may treat my subjects to them? Well, that would be a great help. I could not think of a more advantageous trade for us both. All right. I just remembered something else that you may find of interest. It is perhaps a bit spooky, but... Did you say spooky in this day and age? Hidden gates, you say? That's right, gates. Jerusalem is a great big place with many people coming and going. As such, the rampart contains a number of side gates. A holy gate reserved for God, a gate for merchants. A gate for chariots, a gate for merchants, a gate for slaves, even a gate for shepherds. And while I do not know whether it really exists or not, I've also heard there's a forbidden gate for roch for spirits. They say it is dark even during the day and that the dead themselves make use of it. It is always closed and barred, and not even the guards go near it. Thus did the Queen of Sheba learn of the hidden gate into Jerusalem from a mysterious young shepherd. The Queen's next stowaway to Jerusalem in the middle of the night, taking only a select few of her servants. She decided that if the front gate would not be open to her, then she would simply sneak in the back. None of this is written in Holy Scriptures, but please do not call it heresy. No matter how our company may use our imagination to help bring this story to life, it would do nothing to diminish King Solomon's greatness or the Queen of Sheba's beauty. That looks like Avalon. Great Britain. If the guards would refuse us passage, then we shall make our own passage into the city. Haha! As if crossing the great desert wasn't brazen enough. I never imagined you to be so reckless a queen. Ah! This must be some of the city's guards. So, this is another trial we must face. If our actions go against the will of God, then this is where our journey will come to an end. Please stand back, Your Majesty. The soldiers will handle this. What about Lost and then that's just that, and then they says, well, that happened, end of the story. That'd be fucked up. Okay.
了解。
つまらん
押し切ります。やー。
罠
潰れた。はい。落ち着いて。
つまらん
落ち着いて。
計略だ。
落ち着いて。落ち着いて。やー。
計略だ。仰せのとおり。
There we go.
無駄だ。罠。
ステータスアップ。これで耐えます。まだ倒れません。了解。押し切ります。落ち着いて。了解。押し切ります。ふっ。これで倒します。
罠。
まだ倒れません。
ではこうしよう。つまらん。
了解。押し切ります。
罠だ。
やあ。
I looked at that wrong and thought that said death.
行きます。はい。潰れて。もう逃がしません。触らないでください。
つまらん。仰せの通
落ち着いて。落ち着いて。
り。罠だ。罠だ。
やあ。あなたも私をいじめるんですね。
くではこうしよ
神明。会
う。
長。
物理で殴るだけが戦い。
私は最悪の席に立つ。それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよロード・キャメロット。私まだわからないけど、この気持ちにちゃんと向き合うって決めたから。ブルーヒルでロマンシア。
これぞ大軍師の究極人気。耐えらせの自分破ってみせるだろう。
行きます。潰れて。もう逃がしなさい。
つまらん。
Oh, but
仰せの通り。無駄だ。無駄だ。計略だ。なんだか簡単すぎる。犠牲が少ない。
okay, that was taken care of.
それでも勝利。
And so the Queen of Sheba's procession fought off the guardian spirits and successfully made their way to enter Jerusalem. Soon the king learned that a foreign queen had entered the holy city and the front gates were finally opened. Thus did the parade of camels ostentatiously dressed attendants make their way through Jerusalem. Though the people of Jerusalem were accustomed to luxury, the riches that the queen presented to the king must surely have made even their eyes pop. The lavish specs they brought with them also proved to be incredibly popular, and soon the holy city was filled with their scents. Shortly thereafter, the queen was officially invited to the palace and at long last granted an audience with King Solomon himself. How good of you to come, Queen of Sheba. On behalf of my subjects, I welcome you. I extend my hospitality to you and your people. Please stay in my palace. Rest from your journey. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, good King Solomon. Now that this moment has come, the fatigue of my journey has all but vanished. I know who you are. This may be our first time meeting face to face, but I have had opportunities to learn about you. Without fail, the finest jewels and specs brought to Jerusalem come from the southern kingdoms. I have spoken to merchants and travelers among them, interested to know more. They told me of a queen from a desert kingdom in the south with a sure eye and nose for trade. Until last night, my image of that queen was hazy and blurred like a mirage. But now I see clearly that she is a beautiful desert flower beyond compare. You are too kind, King Solomon. If anything, I am the one in awe of how your grand figure far exceeds the picture I held in my mind. I apologize for the treatment you endured on your journey here, Queen of Sheba. I shall find out how it came to pass and see judgment served, should it be necessary. If it pleases you, I shall give you a tour of my palace myself. Will that serve as an apology? A tour from King Solomon himself. I can think of no greater pleasure. Of course, the pleasure will be mine, I assure you. The two rulers proceeded to walk around Jerusalem's palace, chatting happily all the while. Every one of the dances performed and the harp songs played, and the dishes served was truly exquisite. But the place that the Queen of Sheba was most impressed with was indeed the very building the Good Shepherd had told her about. The magnificent temple of Jerusalem stood even taller than the king's own palace. Atop its great altar, burned offerings were made to God. Their sacrificial animals and other splendid offerings were consumed by sacred fire. Once these offerings were chosen to become God's food, the frankincense, which would later be chosen as one of the three wise men's gifts, was burned like firewood. While bearing witness to these amazing spectacles, the queen casually posed King Solomon a series of questions. Indeed, these very questions were the queen's purpose in venturing to Jerusalem. A quest began in the hopes of appraising the king's wisdom, distinguishing his worth, and gaining a true answer to questions she had long pondered. Some scholars say the queen had only 2 questions, while others claim she had as many as 19. Whatever their number, the King Solomon answered each in turn, and the queen marveled at his wisdom. And in that moment, she decided to entrust King Solomon with the 3 most precious riddles she carried deep in her heart. Solomon in turn honored his noble guest by having his many retainers line up along both sides of his throne. So began the battle of wits to test the merit of both rulers. There could be no room for failure. As silence hung in the throne room, the audience watched with bated breath. Great King Solomon, leader of the people of Israel and bearer of boundless wisdom, I hereby request that you answer these questions and share your wisdom with your guests. Very well, speak your questions. There is a room with 10 doors. When one door is open, 9 are closed. When 9 doors are opened, 1 door is closed. The answer is a person. The room is the womb, and the 10 doors are the eyes, ears, and mouth, ears, nose, mouth, nasals, and excretory holes. Okay, excretory holes. When a person is a fetus, the door of the navel is open. Once they are born, the door is closed forever. O King, you are wise indeed. Speak your next question. Very well then, O King. Let me ask you this. These words weigh more than gold or even life itself and require 4 people to carry them. And yet their master has never once seen them. The answer is the Ark of the Covenant. The very chest I inherited from my predecessors. It contains the 10 Commandments, the proof of our covenant with God. It is kept in the innermost chamber of my temple, a most holy room that is constantly filled with incense. O King, you are truly a man of wisdom. Speak your next question. So far, I'm enjoying this. Very interesting that they would go with such an interesting tale. Very well then, O King. This is my final question. This ocean is calm. A boat sails forward against the wind. The ship's pilot plots a course towards dark clouds. The ship is in no way prepared to weather a storm. Let's see. The answer is, hang on, timeout. Just give me a second here. Calm ocean. A ship pilot. What's that all about? Hold on just a moment. I can answer this. Oh yes, great king. Please tell me your answer. What's the matter, Solomon? Hurry up and answer her third question. I'm trying, but my scripts only had 2 riddles. Huh? That can't be right. Wait. I don't see it in mine either. What's going on? I could have sworn Anderson's manuscript had all 3, huh? What's this? Don't tell me the great King Solomon can't even answer a simple riddle. Well, what say you, your majesty? I'm following my script to the letter, okay? I didn't have any request lines in mind either. Damn it, Matahari! I can tell you're enjoying this. Yeah. I've got your answer right here. Why wouldn't I know it? Solomon knows everything. Please stay in character. The riddle was so easy. It is not worthy of an answer. But what say you, my trusted advisor? Would you like to answer this one in my stead? You may even just offer a hint if you like. Why are the scripts different? Come on, Ringmaster, help me out here. Senpai. Does it have to do with the desert? Does it have to do with the desert? The desert? Why? Actually, hang on. Desert, sand, an ocean of sand, eh? What say you, O King? A fascinating riddle. It cuts to the very core of our 2 perspectives. If I answer incorrectly, then Israel will lose a precious friend indeed. the answer is a nation. When a capable sailor takes the helm, the wind may carry him faster than ever. Much as the sea might appear the same everywhere, it is far from a single thing. It is made of numberless droplets altogether. Even when it appears calm, its surface hides unforeseeable waves and maelstroms. It is like the grains of sand that make up a desert, like quicksand lying in wait for its prey. Very well then, O King. Where lies the ship's destination? The ship stops for nothing. But it is not a ship that runs from danger, nor one that drifts upon the waves. It is but driftwood that will sink in the fullness of time. The pilot knows that that an unavoidable storm is coming and sounds the alarm. Only a ship that endures tribulation will see the glorious light of day that awaits in the new world. O King, you are indeed a wise leader worthy of this nation. Queen of Sheba, I pray that the Lord our God see fit to bless you with his protection. You are no mere guest destined to while away her time before my throne. Though your kingdom may be but a mirage that lies to the distant south, I hereby vow that our two nations shall be allies, and you my friend. You are too kind, O King, but I am most heartened that my journey here has proven fruitful. Should you ever be in need of aid in an even greater endeavor, I shall return from beyond the desert and assist you to the best of my ability. Thus did King Solomon and Queen Sheba's battle of wits come to an end. With more awe and respect for Solomon than ever before, the queen set off to return to her home in Sheba. Solomon in turn was happy to give the queen exactly the gift she wished for. As for what became of the prosperous desert kingdom, of the bond between King Solomon and its queen, no biblical scripture can say. All we do know now is imagine the fate of the legendary queen for ourselves. Thank you all for watching. This concludes the Dante Yeager Company special performance of of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Well, now that was interesting. We definitely learned a lot. Although I wasn't expecting most of that to end up like that. I actually thought we was gonna have a problem, like go into a fight or something. But let's see, before dawn, which is the final thing that we have to actually deal with here. So this is the Puritan colony of Salem. Just a moment, sir. Phew, we finally managed to dock. You're the only cargo we're unloading here, sir. Certainly fine by me, though, since you already paid for passage. Pretty rough storm we had to sail through to get here, though. You doing all right? I'm on land now. My work is on land, where man lives and works. There is no land inhabited by men, and here or anywhere that is free of sin, not even Eden itself. Why is this type of person here? Professor Carter, there are people from the village who'd like to see you. They seem pretty upset. There's a number of them too. I see. Very well. I'll go and meet them. Pardon me for a moment, Mr. Dante. They're asking to see you too, Mr. Honor. What is this all about? You have a lot of to answer for, Mr. Carter. Uncle, Tituba is... Abigail, you here too, Tituba. Mr. Carter. Did these people bring you here? Again, what is this all about? May I remind you that Tituba is my servant. I'll thank you to mind how you treat her. Grr, fine. Then listen to me, Mr. Carter. My daughter has been lying face down in bed ill all day. I know when you stopped by this morning, I told you she was just tired out from last night's excitement. I thought she would be fine once she got some sleep, but I was wrong. She kept groaning and wrinkling, as if she was fighting off a terrible fever. I tried to give her some bread and water to help her calm down, but she refused. I was at a loss for what to do next, so I asked the revenant to come take a look at her. But once he arrived, she seemed to be suffering more than ever. How so exactly? Well, Reverend? Yes, it seems to me as if she was possessed by it, the devil himself. She cried out with a shrill inhuman voice and tried to strangle me with such strength as no child should ever have. We held her down as best we could until she finally passed out and went limp. We then went to change her sheets and found this strange and devilish charm within the straw. According to Putin's daughter, it was Tituba who made it. Oh my. What an evil-looking wooden figure. I'll take that as evidence. Is that true, Tituba? Did you make that? Mr. Carter, it's you got it all wrong. This isn't Tituba's fault. An took it without asking. We could hear the commotion all the way inside. What's going on? It looks like most of the village here. Is that Tituba they're interrogating in the middle of the crowd? I always knew there was something strange about you. Oh, this is dreadful. I don't suppose. Were you the one who had those Indians kill the Williamians? Stop that. The William girl is right there. You're a witch. That's a tool used in blasphemous curses. I suspect this woman is guilty of heresy. Well, who are you? The name is Matthew Hopkins. I just arrived here on a boat from Boston. As of tonight, I've been appointed Salem's head judge by order of the governor. Who do you think you are barging in here all? What's this? Oh my. This really is an official notice of appointment. And that of a superior judge, no less. I apologize for my rudeness. Pay it no mind. These are extraordinary circumstances. People of Salem, I first ask that you calm yourselves and regain your composure. The devil's power is at its height in the hours after dark. We must not let our fears guide our decisions. I hereby order that this slave be taken into custody and interrogated. I will hear what she has to say in the morning. Hey, Tituba's in danger. Don't do it, master. I mean, Dante, master. Please just stay out of it. You can't interfere here. You need to remain a bystander right now, or you'll get swept in this as well. Media. Can't you tell it's begun? I'm glad to see you are willing to cooperate. Mr. Carter, as her owner, I'd like you to accompany her to the town's holding cell. All right, I will accompany you. Mr. Carter? Miss Mosh, Mr. Dante. I'm sorry to trouble you, but can I ask you take Abigail home for me? I know I can trust you in your truth. You all proved that in your play. Abby. This is awful. Poor Tituba. People are superstitious. And they're fucking morons as well. So Tituba, Queen Sheba, in another form, is being persecuted now. And we really can't do anything to help her out. Oh, this is long. This is really, really long. The first knot. Section 2, first knot. The next day, Salem day 2. I see. So Master went to the village in order to accompany Mr. Carter. That's right, Robin went along too, to keep them safe. He said he's hoping they can determine whether that figure really is cursed or not as part of our investigation. It looks like we'll just have to rely on Senpai for this. True. We need to be especially careful right now. How's Abigail doing? Abby hasn't left her room since last night. I tried bringing her something to eat, but she wouldn't even touch it. Nesha went climbing up to the roof earlier, but I have no idea what she's got in mind. You know, ever since we got here, Nesha's been acting like a cat on its last nerve. Maybe she likes kids more than she lets on. Well, she is a cat on her last nerves. That much is true. Hi. Anyways, it's hard to see Abby so down in the dumps. Servants are not. Tituba clearly means a lot to her. Oh, yep. Seeing Tituba thrown in jail must have shocked poor Abby. She's very different from the other children here, isn't she? There can't be many children as sensitive as her in this period. It's especially unusual that she would be so close to a slave. I'm not so sure about that. It is simply in her nature to be kind. Everyone can be compassionate like she is. It is just a matter of actually wanting to. I agree with Sanson. Prejudice only takes root in certain environments. Abby lives a relatively wealthy life, at least by the standards of this colony. And she seems to have a very good education as well, thanks to Mr. Carter. And somehow, even after the loss she suffered, she's held onto her natural cheerfulness. I think that might be her greatest strength, but she still couldn't have done it before. It's only because Tatuna, someone else who knew her parents well, was there beside her. It must have been a big help to have a close family friend around to talk with her parents gone. That's why she's taking this so hard. She's afraid she's about to lose someone else she loves again. You know, when I put it that way, it kind of sounds like someone else we know, doesn't it? About that, when we went to look for Abby after she ran away yesterday, I found that an extreme fear of Native Americans, huh? Racism, basically. Yes, but it wasn't just fear, it was, I'm not sure how to put this. Racism. Loathing, or maybe a strong fixation, whatever it was definitely unusual. So that's also why you felt there was something different about her then. What did Master have to say about that? Maida, where were you this morning? Answer the question, Mash. Well, yesterday I was still processing it myself, and along with everything else that happened last night, I never got a good chance to tell him. I see. That may actually be for the best. What do you mean by that, Maida? I've turned the house into a magical workshop. I just finished the rite a month ago. Are you sure that was a good idea? That seems like the kind of thing we really should have asked Mr. Carter about. Oh, don't be such a wet blanket. I had to do it if we were ever going to contact Caldea. Regardless, that was awfully bold, especially given the circumstances. People might have seen you. Were you in spirit form? Yes. What's more, you should all be able to use your spirit forms now, too. At least within the house and its ground. So it would seem, I guess we have your right to thank for this, but what exactly is going on? Now we can change into our spirit forms too, you said. That makes it sound like you already could. Well, of course, hee. What do you think who do you think you're talking to? Right. I'm Maida. Hecate herself taught me magecraft. There's no point in just speculating about what might be happening here. What we need is proof. Proof that there's something strange about this whole village, magically and historically. Proof that this whole land, that Salem itself is the real heretical version of history. As such, in order to observe it properly, I need a workshop that could withdraw to somewhere isolated from any outside influence. I see. Then I trust you'll fill us in on the details once Master returns, along with why you're the only one who avoided being pseudo-incarnated. My, so direct and forceful, aren't you, Teehee? Heretical history, then does that mean that, this land, Salem, as it is now, is actually a separate dimension created with magecraft rather than actual past self having been brought here unintentionally? I think so. I still can't read the rules on some of these destiny currents, but I'm trying to identify the root of their unusual phenomena cycles. If it was magecraft, then someone here should have a soul that can never be fulfilled and a will to bring about the curse that causes this. And that should lead us to the demon god pillars, yes? I believe so. I see. I don't think I've ever seen you work so hard on anything before, Media. Me either, but it's very encouraging and a nice change of pace. Uh-huh. What do you mean by... Well, we can deal with that stuff later. We already told Master Amash about this, but Sensen and I discovered something unusual too. Yesterday, we met a girl named Lovidia Waitley. She's a little albino child we ran into in the forest on our first night here. But more importantly, she comes from a family of mages. Wait, what? The Waitley house is far from the village, and its basement appears to contain a magical workshop. It has been concealed, but very roughly. We found discarded alchemy equipment spewed about nearby. So yeah, there's something definitely going on here. We also found animal remains buried in their yard that seems to have been used for dark magic rituals. What did this underground workshop look like? Does this mean that girl's family are practicing mages? That would actually make a lot of sense. Well, I'm afraid we still don't know for sure. Neither Matahori nor I could have gone inside without leaving a trace. That sort of thing is more of Robin's alley. There was nothing more we could do. Without Master's permission, we couldn't risk getting any closer. Even if we could have used our spirit forms, we couldn't know we wouldn't be walking into a trap. That's okay. Just knowing that there's a magical workshop there is more than enough. We still need to be careful about how we handle this though. If the people of Salem find out that the Waitleys are mages, there's no telling what they might do. Marsh, I believe you also said that Lavinia and Abby are good friends. Yes, that's what Abby told me. However, it also seems that the people here strongly dislike the Waitleys. And I don't know how much Abby knows about that, if anything. Mages, huh? That could be even worse than the clergy. Also, may I say something? I am not sure if this is because of the rite you've completed here, Media, but... Oh, did you remember something already? Go on, tell us. Yes, I did. Something very important, actually. That new judge who showed up out of nowhere last night, Matthew Hopkins. I know him, or rather I knew of him. He is, like me, one of the most famous executioners in history. He is? Then he's not really a judge. I couldn't make heads or tails of that man. Who is he? He's... Wait, stop. Ah, good morning, Abigail. Good morning, everyone. What are you all whispering about? Nesha told me how Uncle is out with Ringmaster right now. He went to see how Tituba is doing, right? That's right, so please don't worry, Abby. I'm sure that Senpai and Mr. Carter will clear Tituba's name. Yeah, I guess you're right. Plus, Nesha's here too. Nesha, what about her? The young girl refuses porridge. I added spice. She ate. Huh? What's she trying to say? Is that we talk about all sorts of things while I had my porridge. And she told me that if I found any bad guys, she would beat them to a pulp. That she'd make them completely evaporate, even without even a drop of their blood as a chance to hit the ground. Before even. It sounded truly frightening, but I also kind of want to see it now. Of course. I would be delighted. That sort of violent performance really isn't what we're going for with this troupe. Maybe I should pray to God and ask for forgiveness. At any rate, we have a lot we need to discuss with Master as soon as he gets back. You mean about your plays? Yes, of course. Specifically, we need to discuss the tragedy and comedy taking place right here on Salem's own stage. That's hilarious. No, she didn't say tragedy and comedy. Welcome back, Senpai. Mr. Carter went out again and he took Abby with him. He said he was going to the church to speak to the Reverend. It sounded like they're all concerned about what's going on with the other children. So right now, we're the only ones here. How did your investigation go? You say you met with Judge Hopkins. Would you mind telling him, Robin? No problem. You must be seriously worn out after dealing with that old fart. That's bad. Why don't you have a seat in that comfy chair and try to relax, Senpai? We learned a few things too while you were out, so I'd like to make sure we're all equally caught up. You've been a big help, Mosh. You really come into your own as a proctor. You think so? I mean, now's not the time. Please don't forget that you have important responsibilities as a master of Caldea, Senpai. Okay, to start, let's go over what happened with Matthew Hopkins, the judge that suddenly showed up last night. Hope he's an executioner. Okay, that's weird. I don't know what the hell that is. Hold on. I'll be right back. I use the bathroom. Man, I don't know what that Hopkins guy's deal is. He's a pain in the ass. First of all, Master Carter and me went to the town holding cell to talk to Tituba. But all the guard would tell us is that she wasn't allowed any visitors, orders from the top and all. So you weren't permitted to see her at all then? Nope, turns out that in this case, holding cell is just a fancy way of saying underground prison. I snuck a quick peek inside the cell and it was a real hellhole. There were rats and cockroaches everywhere, water leaking from the walls. The whole place smelled like something had died. And never mind sunlight. The only light in the whole jail was a few dim torches in the hall. Any more than a day in that dump and you'd lose your damn mind. Your goddamn mind. What about Tituba then? Did you see her at all? Tituba, as well, she's still alive, I guess. She was curled up in a ball and freaking out something fierce. Poor Tituba. Coward. Rescue. Simplicity itself. Why did you not? 'Cause I'm a coward, obviously, especially here in Salem. Stop it, Nesha. Remember, Master and Robin went to clear her name, not to break her out. If we were to overstep our bounds like that, we would only end up furthering suspicion against her. I see. Yes, you are right. Apologies, Robin. Thoughtless of me that. Sure, no problem. Anyways, like I was saying, it was all Hopkins' call not to let anyone see her. Wouldn't even let her owner, Carter, in. So we decided to go talk to him directly. We found him staying in a room at the finest mansion in town. A ship captain by the name of Turner built it. Turns out, Turns out it had a guest room especially reserved for judges and preachers and bigwigs like that. Okay, so you went to see Hopkins directly. Did he seem to be a demon god pillar? A demon god pillar? You serious? How the hell should I know? What was I supposed to do? Shoot him in the face and see if he transformed? Come on. In the end, all I could do was watch Master get worn out. He was a pretty tough opponent. Being exhausted from consecutive battle though is one thing, but I can't believe you're this exhausted just from speaking to someone, or senpai, from talking to someone. Maybe the magical erosion caused by the curse that Media is concerned about is affecting Master too. What are you talking about? That's definitely important too. But first, we want to hear more about what happened here. How did Mr. Carter handle the negotiations? Carter's a pretty level-headed guy, but he also got balls of steel. He went toe-to-toe with Hopkins the whole time. You never know he was just a mild-mannered professor. Abby told me Carter served during a war. Ah, a military man. That explains it. He walks just a bit gingerly. Must be an old war wound. I'm impressed you caught that, Sanson. I didn't notice at all. Carter didn't even try for an emotional appeal or anything like that. He just said that Tituba was his own private property and refused to budge from his claim that taking her away like this was unlawful seizure. He even said he would seek punitive damage if this resulted in any impediment to her ability to work. The constables who were there were pretty freaked when Carter said how much money he would ask for, but Hopkins didn't even blink. The cursed doll, what of it? What became of the evidence? That's where our ringmaster showed what he was made of. He kept insisting to see the figure again to determine whether there was black magic at work. But all Hopkins would say was, The devil has taken up residence in that doll, just as he has taken up residence in Tituba. One need only look at the suffering child to see the hand of the devil in all this. If we are to limit the curse's reach, we cannot have people getting near or even touching the doll. Ironically, that would be the sensible move in a situation involving magecraft. But Mr. Carter wasn't having that, so he decided to speak with the Reverend who made the diagnosis. I hope he can convince the Reverend to come around. It helps that Abby went with him. That's true. Abby is a very strong believer herself. Maybe she can get the Reverend to listen to reason. At least I hope so. Now it's just a race against time. What do you mean? Hopkins is going to try to extract confessions from his suspects. That is what he does best. Who is Hopkins? It's time you tell us, Sanson. Alright. From what I know, Matthew Hopkins was a British attorney. If this is indeed 1692, Hopkins would be quite elderly, yet he does not seem so. However, history tells us he died in 1947, almost half a century ago if Abigail gave us the current time. I can only surmise that history is wrong in this. During his life, he was best known by the title of Witchfinder General. So he's from the military. It says Witchfinder General, so he's from the military. If he hates witches, is he a religious figure? No, he is not an official inquisitor affiliated with any church. Matthew Hopkins made witch hunts his life's work. The title was, so far as we know, one he gave himself. He supported himself with the rewards he got from hunting witches. His methods were brutal, even cruel, but people went along with him. I heard that he was responsible for the execution of 300 so-called witches in East England over the course of 3 years. 300 people in only 3 years, but weren't all of them innocent? Most of them, yes, I expect. What a scumbag. So he went around seeing innocent people strung up as witches just to make a buck? Did you say that they were hanged? I thought witches were burned at the stake back then. The vast majority of these witch hunts resulted in hangings, especially in England. Witchcraft was considered a grave crime against teachings of God, which is bullshit. I don't even know where to start with that, considering since magecraft would be the first thing God uses. A god would use. Well, not magecraft per se, but I mean magic in general. Burning someone at the stake was more a form of torture than execution, and also served as a warning to anyone watching. Oh, so they got that wrong. As executions go, hanging is far more efficient and less painful. How? As these people are British colonialists, they probably share many of the same sensibilities. It says, then does that mean they're going to hang Tituba? We got to watch out for Hopkins. With Hopkins here, that's definitely possible. Putting Tituba in that disgusting underground prison will wear on her mind and quickly. If an ordinary person is locked away, starved, and denied visitors, they might last a week, no, 3 days at most. 3 days? So that's what you meant by a race against time. Sensen's very knowledgeable about this. Gotta hand it to you, Prince Nesha. You're way better with kids than me. Hee hee. So then, you were never able to examine the evidence. I took a look at it, but I couldn't tell you one way or the other. It just looked like a regular handcrafted doll. That means I will need to examine it myself. For all your talents, Master, I don't think you'd be the best equipped to handle this sort of thing. It would be great if you could do that, but first, tell us about this workshop ritual that you made. Of course. I believe you already heard the general outline I gave the other earlier. No, I'll spare you the details. In summary, I took the liberty of turning this house into my workshop. It should be quite helpful, as it seems we'll largely be staying here during our mission. I see. Indeed. As of now, the area we're investigating here is much smaller compared to past missions. My primary aim was to ensure I could make full use of my magecraft, but there are other benefits as well. Eh? Something's wrong. Oh. Okay, there we go. For some reason it wasn't working right. Okay, so where were we? Media. Okay, earlier. I'll spare you the details. In summary, I took the liberty of turning this house into my workshop. Quite helpful, as it seems we'll largely be staying here during our mission. I see. Indeed, as of now, this area we are investigating here is much smaller compared to the past missions. My primary aim was to ensure I could make full use of my magecraft, but there are other benefits as well. That is, so long as we're in my workshop, we are not affected by the influence this land is having on us. You mean you can use your spirit forms again? Right, now that's only a very small part of all this. Oh? Can anyone here describe what Tituba looks like in detail? Huh? What do you mean? I know she's a mild-mannered woman with brown skin, but well, that's strange. What about the color of her eyes, her hairstyle, her build, her age? Now that you mention it, I can't remember anything like that. Oh man, I can't either. What the hell? Damn, you're right, Media. We didn't even know we were caught in the enemy's trap. So then, something's been interfering with our awareness, or maybe our memories. And as long as we are inside the workshop, we are not subjected to that interference, correct? Right. If this bounded field can so easily interfere with a servant's senses, it must be the sort that would typically require a divine spirit to create. And yet, we still can't get a firm grasp on it. It's like it slipped away whenever we try. You discovered this, Media. What do you think? Isn't it obvious? Tituba has been concealing her true appearance all along. Actually, she is the one who strikes me as odd at this point. More so than Hopkins, in fact. If anyone here has a connection to the Demon God Pillar, I bet it's her. Ideally, I would have liked to examine her after she returned here to Master Carter's house, but since that no longer seems to be possible, I'll just have to go examine her myself. That seems like it put you at a hell of a disadvantage. Well, I guess you're the only one who hasn't been so affected by the Bountiful. I guess that's why you're the queen witch or whatever, yeah? Hee hee, you know it. I'm the baddest witch of all. No need to be shy about it. Huh. Kinda thought that might piss you off. I guess Salem agrees with you or something. I know we're already asking a lot of you, media, but there's something else we need your help with. Alright, what about contacting Chaldea? I've been focusing on getting the workshop done, so I hadn't made any progress there yet. But I'm about to. I'd give it about a 50-50 chance of working, sadly. Master, I think this is your call. Do we focus on saving or possibly capturing Tituba, or making a contact with Chaldea? Can't just throw Tituba to the wolves. Well said, Master Dante. Any master that would make a child cry, no master of mine. Anyways, there might be a whole bunch of problems we gotta solve, but it's not like we've suffered any losses ourselves so far, right? So don't get mad at me for saying this, but I don't think contacting Chaldea needs to be a priority now. Phew. Oh, you're backing me up on this, Maida. Yes, I agree. Given the circumstances, making contact with Chaldea can wait. For now, I'm going to pay Hopkins a visit. Would you mind escorting me, Ringmaster? I like to say that no one else needs to come along, but I doubt that will be well received. Me? I'll go along too. Anyone else want to come? Strength in numbers, right? Then I shall join you as well. I think there may be something I can do to improve the situation. That would be great, thank you, Sensen. Okay then, in the meantime, we'll keep investigating the village. Robin, Nesha, shall we? Sure thing, guess we'll head back to the Waitley estate. Understood. Dante Yeager, was it? I do not care how many times you ask. I will not be releasing a suspect held in custody. If she is truly innocent, then she has nothing to fear. Do not interfere with my work. You are oddly presumptuous for a band of traveling performers. Unless you have some personal reason to protest the suspect's detention. Senpai, are you sure it was a good idea to face him head on like this? It's the quickest way for Meta to get a look. That may be true, but still. Dante Yeager, mush. You need to keep Hopkins talking. Make him show you the evidence he sees. Okay, here goes. Absolutely not. The evidence is crucial to this case. This is not up for discussion. Oh, that one. Come on. Saw that one coming. Why are you so fixated on that object? The slave woman has already admitted to making it. That may be, but Your Honor. And who might you be? My name is Charles Henry Sensen. I'm a member of Dante Yeager's company. A Frenchman, eh? You're certainly a long way from home. Indeed, I have been wondering for a long time, but I also know a thing or two about medicine. In fact, I have treated a significant number of patients. Furthermore, I am told there are people here who have fallen ill with children among their numbers. So, if it would please your honor, I would ask you permission to examine them. Well now, this is a surprise. You a doctor? No doubt you mean to charge exorbitant prices for potions or such. Or perhaps you are a heretic yourself. Nothing of the sort, your honor. For example, I can see that you suffer from joint pain. And what does that prove? The same could be said for most men my age. I'm sure the inclement weather we have been having lately doesn't help. Perhaps your aching joints have put you in a foul mood. I can also see that you enjoy your liquor, but don't care for a lot of milk in your tea. If I may, I would suggest that you refrain from drinking too much. It would also do you good to eat more fresh vegetables rather than the substance only on bread and meat. I suggest surrogates, zucchini. I also recommend salad with parsley and apple vinegar dressing. It will help with the pain. They do say diet is the root of good health. I can't say I approve of your message, Frenchman. Any layman could do the same. I can all but hear you shouting that you aren't like those ghouls who think applying a few leeches entitles them to a reward. Very well, I shall grant you permission to examine the patients. However, you are not to harm or puncture their bodies in any way, nor are you permitted to administer anything brought in from outside their homes. Also, you may charge no fee. You will be paid a fixed amount per household from the village coffers. Thank you, your honor. That is more than enough. Phew, this is great. Now we can examine the villagers as much as we like. Plus, I think this could help with our investigations, right, senpai? That was a very you way to handle it, Hanson. Wonder if we could convince Hopkins now. True, he does seem to have softened up a bit. Hopkins, your first responsibility lies neither to the villagers nor to your decrepit knees and back. It's to the health of a valuable witness, Tuba. As a fellow woman, I'm going to examine her, whether you like it or not. Give me the key to her cell, now. Maida? I'm sorry, Ringmaster. There's just something about this man I can't stand. Well now, if you come to perform a farce, I'm afraid you are in the wrong place. And what about you? Are you really fit to serve as the guardian of law that you claim to be? Medicine is an intelligible practice and is the domain of men. The superstitious nonsense women espouse as healing is nothing more than witchcraft. Tell me, woman, are you a witch? I am wisdom itself, deep, womanly wisdom. Clearly, you do not believe that women have anything useful to offer in their experience or stories. Watch your mouth. How dare you address his honor that way? Hold, these people didn't come here to enact violence. I've heard stories myself, you know, including ones about thieves who disguise themselves as traveling performers. Indeed, I see now that such a cover would be perfect for those with lascivious intent. Cunning clowns win over the children and obscenely dancing girls beluge good, upstanding men. They mislead the townspeople with caricatures of bystanders and voyeurs, then take advantage of the commotion to steal from them. At times they even commit arson or burglary and disappear like so much smoke. Once they leave, they never return to that town, not even caring what manner of evidence they leave behind. What a foolish, dim-witted notion. Such greedy bandits could never hope to perform a refined tragedy nor a moving comedy. None could ever compare to King Lear or the Merchants of Venice, as I saw them in the London Globe Theatre. Ha 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 ha. Don't lump us in with bandits like that. Damn it, Shakespeare, you're in for it when I get back. Achoo! Gesundheit. You coming down with that cold, or did your mustache just get stuck in your nostrils? I just got a strange chill down my spine. Odd? Oh well, I'm sure it's nothing. Ha ha ha! Definitely a cold. Hypocrite. Arson and burglary are precisely what you yourself did during your witch hunts. Steal. Could it be that he regrets his past now? He almost seems like he's trying to make amends. I swear to you that we respect Salem's customs and would never do anything to compromise its purity. You don't say. I will tell you now that I send a messenger down to Boston to visit someone who knows the city well. And he reported back that no one ever heard of a troupe calling themselves the Dante Jaeger Company. That is not in itself a significant problem. Massachusetts has not forgotten that Boston witch trial of John Goodwin from 4 years ago. The Boston witch trial of John Goodman. 4 children began having strange seizures, and as expected, an old witch was responsible for them. Indeed, the devil frequently makes use of women for his evil means. How can you be certain that this slave woman is not one of his pawns? And so I declare that Salem must be placed on high alert. There are witches in our midst. The devil is here in Salem. There is no telling what form he may take. Does that mean you're banishing us? So you would confess your guilt by running away. Quite the opposite, Dante Jaeger. I give you permission to perform for the entire town. What? And you will perform tonight. You will give a masterful performance that moves everyone here. And in so doing, you will demonstrate that you truly are performers. Gather as many villagers as will fit in the town hall and give them a good show. We just did that last night. That was only a select few. This will be for the rest of the village, and if your play does not move them, I will have you arrested as bandits pretending to be performers and investigate you all thoroughly. If we succeed, you will release Tuba from prison. That is a promise I cannot make. A crime is still a crime, but I can say that if it goes to trial, your success will leave a much better impression on the jurors. And one more thing, that woman will not be in your cast when you perform. Huh? Me? Why? Lock her in a cell as well to ensure her compatriots do not flee in the night. You can't be serious. You were extremely rude to a judge. Be grateful I do not pass sentence on you here and now. In fact, I will even put you next to Tuba just as you wished. You're Hopkins? Truly convincing anguish. I hope to see such pathos from all your performers tonight. Maida, this is all so sudden. You want us to perform tonight? What play should we? Do not worry, I will select that for you as well. For it must be about something that Salem needs now more than ever. A ruler and a... Huh. That's interesting. A ruler and an Avenger class. Well, it looks like Mama Raiko should actually be of use here. And not just Raiko though, but let's see. I might as well bring a Moon Cancer in. Hold on, actually. Even if I do bring up Moon Cancer in though, I have to keep her on standby. BB. So, we gotta put on a play to clear our names. The hell's that old man thinking? Okay, so now that we're actually doing this, let me see something. Oh, wait, whoops, I did not mean to press that. On a play for the hat. And imprisons. Imprisons media. The dude sounds highly sexist too. Hang on a second. Wait, you know, it says, so we gotta put on a play to clear our names. The hell's that old man thinking? There's no reason we gotta put up with this crap. He's just gonna find something else to criticize. Huh? Hang on a second. Give me a minute. But Media's been taken hostage and Tituba's still in prison. Yeah. If we're going to save them, we have to earn everyone's trust. Indeed, resorting to violence would be playing right into his hands. Easy for you to say. You got to run off somewhere else. There's nothing we can do about that, Robin. And villagers have been coming to ask for Sanson's help since they heard about his medical expertise. It says the villagers have been coming to ask for Sanson's help since with his expertise. Hold on. Says there's nothing we can do about that, Robin. The villagers have been coming to ask for Sanson's help since they heard about his medical expertise. I got no problems with him prioritizing patients. It's not like there's only one there's only one way to earn trust. I appreciate that, Master, and I am sorry for leaving you all at a time like this. Now then, I must be off. It says sharing FGO. Sale of quartz, accounts, other services. I don't know how the hell you would go about doing that. He says, now then I must be off. Be careful out there, Sanson. Master, what did Hopkins say? He's got burning at the stake in mind. He wants a play about burning a witch at stake. He's got burning a stake at a stake, so we simply need to burn it. That is not so hard. Burning at the stake, huh? Well, that's just great. Like Frenchie said, England hasn't used that method of execution in forever. Play or not, that's gonna leave a nasty impression on the villagers. He clearly wants us to impress on everyone how dangerous witches are. Still, does this mean he wants us to put on a tragedy? Because I think making an example out of the witch would only cause the audience to sympathize with her. And if we do that, we'll end up in trouble because he'll just say it's proof we support heresy. Damn it, We don't have time to figure this shit out before we go on stage. Are there any scripts we can use, Mosh? Why wasn't there a script about Jean? Yes, there was, however. I'm afraid it could be considered a bit, difficult. This may not be for me to say, but I honestly have no idea what Anderson was thinking when he wrote it. Hey, it's not like it's a major epic that takes several days to perform, right? Let's do it. Besides, we all got the hang of performing after last night's play. Okay, we'll go with that one. Maybe we can ad-lib in response to the audience too. Understood. That said, Media isn't here tonight. And we don't have time for you to memorize the script, Senpai. So I'll just have to join you all on stage myself. Wait, you're serious? Are you sure, Mosh? You will not freeze up. I don't know about this. Mosh isn't exactly great at lying or even hiding how she feels. Then again, maybe that would work to our advantage if she plays a bit part, a village girl or something. She'll be taking over from Media in the leading role. I just hope she can handle it. No fear. Why are you ganging up on me like this? If that's how it's going to be, then I'm not going to feed you your lines even if you forget one. Mosh is too cute. My name is Jean. I'm known as Le Prousse, the Maiden of Orleans. Deep breath, Mosh. Try to stay calm. Try pretending the audience are all baguettes. 1 baguette, 2 baguette, 3 baguette, get 5, 8, 13, 21. I can't eat that many. This is a tale of tragedy and of miracles. Our story begins with John, a girl from the village of Domremini, and miraculously hearing the voice of God. Okay. Tonight, you will see how Jean goes on a Dom command soldiers. Wait, what? On the Dom armor. Wait, goes on to Don armor command soldiers and rides a white horse into battle with her flag held aloft. You will see her become Saint Jean d'Arc, the hero who saved France. And yet a tragic end awaits this heroine. Tonight, the Dante Yeager Company is proud to present the liberation of Jean d'Arc. We begin in France during the middle of the 1,000 Years' War. The 100 Years' War. Hold it, just hold it right there. That voice, who are you? Who are you? You. I recognize that voice. Could it be? Just hold the hell up. This isn't the damn Big Bang. Don't start all the way at the beginning. How are we gonna get through this crap tonight if you start at the freaking 100 Years' War? Are you my other self? No way. Not by a damn sight. Hey, but that's probably too much for this weird place, so yeah, let's just say I am. I'm the dark side you didn't know you had, no matter how much they praise you or put you on a pedestal. In the end, they're still gonna call you a heretic and burn you as a witch for no good reason. They're gonna ship you out to ruin and burn you like a sack of kindling. Who is the English army. Who do you think, genius? Which means tonight's play is actually called The Burning of Jeanne d'Arc. Oh my, I certainly don't want to present a distorted view of history, but couldn't we at least show them the French coronation ceremony? It's a wonderful thing to behold. No way, swear to God, no damn way. Kill me first. I'd rather die than see that little twit Charles coronated. But don't you find it incredibly moving? Everyone's hearts joining together as one. Joyous words of celebration echoing through the cathedral. Ah, at last, the great Archangel Michael's prophecy has come to pass, and France has been saved. Hurrah, hurrah! Noël Runale. Did someone say Noel? You did, didn't you? Another new voice. Who might you be? Oh, for God's... No, her. Anyone but her. It's me, Jeanne d'Arc Santa Lily. Why is this happening? Like, seriously, why is this happening? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely freaking ridiculous. And you all know what Noel means. Christmas. Tonight we will be performing neither liberation nor burning, but rather the Three Little Johns. Huh? What's the actual hell? The Three Little Johns? Oh, another version of me has showed up. That's right, and here's the story. The big bad wolves are coming. We need to band together as sisters and fortify our defenses if we're going to withstand their onslaught. Hey Hans, what the hell? You're ripping off the Three Little Pigs now. Actually, I think we're okay since it still hasn't been published in the 17th century. Spare us the meta crap. That's not the point here, alright? Excuse me, but the big bad wolves are headed this way as we speak. Come on, we need to build a house. I agree, fortify one's defenses is very important. Yeah, well, I'm not doing jack squat. I remember this story. I know how it ends. The wolves are gonna eat us one at a time anyway. We don't know that for certain. We may have been foolish enough to charge at the English army with nothing more than a few spear techniques. But if we work together, we can defend against this threat. Doesn't that sound nice? That's right. If we get eaten, at least we'll get eaten together. Helping or hurting, Lily? Helping or hurting? Done. Just look at our lovely new house. It's wonderful. Now, we can't possibly lose. Ugh, you just had to open your damn... Wait. Your damn mouth, didn't you? Besides, something isn't right here. We're ripping off the Three Little Pigs, right? So shouldn't the first house be straw? This thing's gotta be even stronger than brick. There's the story... where's the story supposed to go from here? Oh, wait. Maybe that's for the best. Big bad wolves these days breathe lots of fire, so we need to be ready for that. What the hell kind of wolf breathes fire? Why is everything gotta be about fire with you? So says the psycho who asked me if I wanted to burn with her. Yes, that's kind of rich coming from me. Yes, it is. The enemy's here. Come, we must prepare for battle. I think Sanson was just... Oh, hell no. What? That shit? Are you serious? That's a bunch of top tier arsonist whack jobs. Yep. We could not ask for worthier opponents. Come now, show us what you've got. We can do this. Yes, we can. That is not okay. That's freaking nuts. Okay, I just seen a pop-up picture of somebody who has literally 1,242 Saint cores. That's fucking insane.
よし、戦いだ。
これですね。
苦手だけど全力で行こうか。
That means he must have found a perfect team for himself to use and has never once used his fucking Saint cores before. That's fucking nuts. Alright.
ステータスアップ。これで耐えます。
So yeah, we gotta get rid of John first. Like, yeah, we definitely gotta get rid of John first because she can protect everybody.
痛いですか？いいぜ。ごめん。くらえ。レディーアタック。そこです。
Oh, thanks a lot.
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。
ご覧になってください。思い上がりましたね。ご命令とあらまあまあ。
Here we go.
来たれ四天王。いいえ、五頭天皇の紳士たち。参ります。ご王将来。天皇大会。暑いです。寒いです。
Good, we dealt with John.
さあどうだ。
Now we should be able to deal with Lily pretty easily.
ステータスアップ。これで耐えます。承知いたしました。落ち着いて。
いいとも。
せい。ふっ。
それ。
サンタとして。どう？ あらま、承知いたしました。
Let's see.
いいぜ。ごめん。さあどうだ。
Don't nobody. And I get the spam. Mama right goes no prevention. Well, not spam it, but I get it like literally a couple.
それはすべての傷。すべての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ。ロードキャメロット。来たれ我が中心、我が手足、我が具足。四天王などこれこの通り。五王将来、天皇開会。開いた。戦とはやはり荒々しいものなのですね。
Well, glad. Glad I didn't have to really go ham on that one. Oh, I like those actually. I need those. Yep, this is gonna definitely be strange. What is it? It says increases all allies buster effectiveness by 15 only if the caster is equipped. Well, basically that's the same as as Ryko. I know we were out of our league. I knew we were out of our league. Did you now? They're not getting up at all. Yikes, that's hot. Retreat, retreat! Not yet. I won't run away after merely having my castle burned down. This time I shall vanquish them. Kinda weird that she's the most bloodthirsty of all of us, don't you think? Ta-da! All done. I use economically friendly material, so this one should be better for the environment. Now you build a stick house. This is, how is this an improvement? All we had was material left from building the castle, so I can't really say I'm surprised. Fortunately, this will be a perfect chance to polish up my defensive noble phantasm. Cut the crap, one of us is gonna get seriously burnt here, you realize that. Here they come. Oh no. They don't have anything to do with fire, right? I think we have a real shot here. Oh, they're all connected to the frickin' sun. This is even worse. Right. That is not okay. Yeah, they are. Yeah, like they are connected to the freaking sun. That's worse. That's definitely worse. And I just realized something. This is the way I'm fighting. This is weird.
Status up. これで耐えます。
つまらんオーセロと。はい。罠だ。罠だ。くらえ。
了解。承知いたしました。あらあらまあまあ。サンタとして甘い。
オーセロと。オーセロとつまらん罠だ計略だ無駄だ何かもしれ簡単すぎる
あは
メリーアタックこれですね 了解。
ええ、
押し切ります。
承知いたしました。ふっせい。どう？メリーアタック。そこです。私ともあろうものが恥ずかしい。
Oh, that's not good. Oh shit, moon cancels out.
なかったことにしますね。
Okay. Oh shit. How are we gonna go about this?
ステータスアップ。これで耐えます。
ではどうしではどうし
なかったことにしますね。神明会長、
物理で殴るだけが
私は最悪の席に立つ。それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよロードキャメロット。
I'm annoyed.
これぞ大軍師の究極陣地。帰らずの地破ってみせる
罰ゲームです
どう？メリーアタック。
つまらん。
いきますよ。
仰せのと
BB channel.
ビビーチャンネル。これはいけません。ですがご安心を。ビビーちゃんにお任せです。ファーストキューピッドクレンダー。罰ゲームです。
罠だ。
くらえ。
聖なる夜、素敵で無敵な奇跡の一瞬。ラ・グラスティーユ・ノエル。シャンシャンシャンシャンシャンシャン。
Shit.
くらえ。
Oh wow, look who didn't die. I'm actually quite surprised.
倒れません。なかったことにしますね。残酷に冷酷に残酷に冷酷にです。罰ゲームです。逃がしません。アリさんのように。
How the hell did she survive that shit?
これは憎悪によって磨かれた我が魂の方向。ラグロンドメント・デュヘイン。
Yeah, just kill Mosh.
ごめんなさい。
さあどうだ。
What?
つまらん。つまらん。罠だ。罠だ。罠だ。なんかし簡単すぎる。
サンタとして
細ですもの。節約節約。良妻ですもの。節約節約。残酷にで怖いきますよ。せ
Here we go.
てんてん。あいた。ビビーチャンネル。これはいけません。ですがご安心を。ビビーちゃんにお任せです。カーストキューピッドクレンザー。痛いです、暑いです、寒いです。アリさんのように。メリーアタック。
ではこうしよう。物理で殴るだけが戦いじゃ。これぞ大軍師の究極陣地。帰らずの地を破ってみせるがいい。
罰ゲームです。はいや。チャヤー。メリーアタック。
涙。貴様の名を汚したかもしれん。
苦しんでもらおうかしら。指先一つで仕留めてあげる。
良妻ですもの。節約節約。ちょっと神様っぽいところ
あまり使いたくはないのですけどね。
Here we go.
出雲にかこれ時代にしてみそぎの水天日光アマゾンつやなく
術理摂理世のことあり、その晩秋ルールブレイカー。
痛いです、暑いです、寒いです。罰ゲームです。メリーアタック。チャヤー。何でもできるラスボス系後輩なのです。私の変身見たいですか？
よくてよ。
BB Channel.
ビビーチャンネル。これはいけません。ですがご安心を。ビビーちゃんにお任せです。カーストキューピッドクレンザー。痛いです、暑いです、寒いです。あいた。かくしてグレートデビルのビビーちゃんは今日も可愛いのでした。
That was interesting. Well, I think this is the perfect place to end this. We've been going for almost 4 hours, so before I don't. I mean, I want to go ahead and end this before we hit the 4-hour mark. So this has been the Rage Dragon. I hope you guys enjoy this, and